To this, I'm gonna start by saying I know that there are people on social services that are on welfare, that are on SNAP, that are on Section 8 that actually need assistance. So I'm gonna start by saying this is not geared and directed towards those people. But I'm also start by saying there are tons of people who are on welfare, social service, SNAP, and programs that really abuse it. And what's really sad is they've become so codependent on it to the point where they haven't elevated their lives. Everything is literally codependent on the government. It is so sickening when you see someone who cares about having the luxuries of life as far as clothes, shoes, coats, jeans, sneakers, right, and bags and vacations, but they do not want to elevate their lives. And then when you look at the system, let's just look at this system, and this is called logic. You take a mother, right? She breeds a child. And when she breeds a child, this child becomes codependent on the system, continuing a mentality. It's like a grandfather taking a bath, then the father takes the bath in the same water that the father did, then the third generation takes a bath in that same dirty water. By the time you get to the grandchildren, they're all taking baths in that same dirty water and they all believe that they're clean. That's what the problem with welfare and being codependent on the government aid. There are people, again, that need it, but there are people that abuse it to the point where they haven't done anything with their lives. It is so disheartening that a person can come from a third world country, and literally elevate their lives within minutes. But a person that's been here over 40, 50, 60 years have done absolutely nothing with their life. And when you can go back to school, you can change your life and your positioning. It's because of the codependency to the point that people are not elevating themselves. They literally live off the government their whole lives. And then the sad part is welfare, social services, EBT, Section 8. These things can be willed down to the next generation. And then the situation continues to perpetuate a problem that's been since the beginning of time. When you look at statistics, it shows that black people own more houses during Jim Crow than we do today. Why is that? We're going to create the narrative that the white man is this. No, it's because there are a lot of people who do not want to work, who do not want to elevate, who want to live in situations and gloat and brag about being from areas they do not own nothing in. They want to gloat and brag and yell and scream at the top of their lungs about areas that they don't own nothing in. You willing to die for a neighborhood that don't give a damn about you. You willing to crash out for a neighborhood that you don't own nothing in. You don't own nothing there. And this is a mentality. And until we stop being codependent on the government aid, you're going to always have a problem. As I said before, there are people who need the system. Mentally challenged, right? Elderly. I understand those. But again, those people that's sitting around having baby after baby after baby after baby after baby, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. And why should I feel sorry for a person that don't clearly see that you can't afford the last child you had, and why are you laying down to have another child? One child's a mistake. I'll even give you two. But after you get past two, it's like, come on. It's getting ridiculous. But again, if you say this, you become the problem. Now we're going to start calling it out. We're going to call out the garbage. And we're going to stop allowing people to kill us, our culture more and more and more, and give them an excuse for their behavior. Ignorance is ignorance. Foolishness is foolishness. Poor decisions is poor decisions. And now it's time for people to be accountable. And the issue is, again, we're going to continue to point the finger and blame others for the poor decision making that we have. And I'm going to say this as a landlord. It is so sad that you can go to the brokest people's houses, but you find the most luxurious items that you could ever find. Let me say that again. It is so sad that you can go to the brokest people's houses, but they have the most luxury items in the world. I went to a house the other day. The lady struggling, crying about her financial situation, but she has a nerve to have a luxury dog. You pay $5,000 for a dog, but you won't pay $5,000 to get your kids tutoring. You won't pay $5,000 to give your child a better experience and show them that you're bigger than the neighborhood you live in. It's a mentality. And as long as we continue this mentality, we're going to continue to have the same results. Stop blaming the white man and start blaming the man and the women that's in the mirror. Look at yourself and stop making excuses. Because I'm going to tell you something. We could sit down every day and say no one taught us financial literacy, but your parents didn't teach you how to have sex and you figured it out. So it's time to start figuring these things out. The system is not designed for you to stay on it forever because it's actually hindering you. Your daughters are the incubators, meaning the breeders of life and the givers of life, and the sons, either A, this is how the hood operates. The girls, they give life. The boys, either A, work dead-end jobs for the wealthy, or B, they go to jail. So either way, they're going to make money off your children. If you don't understand logic, wake the hell up. And you know the scary thing is, too, I'm going to say this before I go? The number one people online screaming about losing their social services and their SNAP programs and their EBT and all of this stuff is black people. When you don't realize that more white people are going to suffer from losing anyway. There are more white people on welfare than black people. So call it what it is. Don't let that go over your head.